Hi, this is a tutorial on how to do the out of bounds from Misty Woods to Forlorn Ruins in all cells for Ori. So let's just get into it. The approach to the setup for the first save is pretty normal. The only real optimization is that it's better to take the animation for this ability cell down here, because you can't avoid it when you're landing in the position for the save, and you get this bash glide out if you just wait there. Just 2 stomps to kill this guy, and then you place the first save and head over. You can place it very quickly and go, but I just wanted to stop to show. So this energy crystal thing on the roof is a good indication of where to place it. You just go right under there and it'll be safe. But the range of places you can put the save and have it work is quite wide. I'd say about here would be the furthest right, maybe around here would be the furthest left, perhaps even farther. So anywhere in this area will work, so you don't have to be really precise about that at all. You can just place it quickly and go. So you head off to the right here. Make sure you don't bash off this guy. And you want to just float above the cutscene trigger there, and then head back and land close enough to this save to rekindle. And then you can't move at that point because the cutscene is trying to play, but you're too far away, so it's kind of bugged out. So you need to exit and reload the game, which skips the cutscene anyways. So it's all good. Now for this part, we're on a platform which extends from around here. This would be the furthest right you can put the save. So this save I put is kind of on the right side of things. And then over here, you'll notice you can see Ori's light through the platform there. And I have my mouse over Ori. There's a place where you drop off, and that's the edge of the platform. Now this dropped off area, you don't want to ever touch that really. Let me just die. What you want to do to get this out of bounds to work is you want to be holding feather, run off to the left, and then as soon as you hear feather, head right. That one didn't work. So it won't work if you hit any of these spikes on the outside. What you want to do is take damage around there. So you want to turn around before you hit these spikes, take damage from there to get to the spot. So that'll work. So then you use your triple jump to get enough height to land on the invisible platform here. Now I'm on it. I've moved as far left as I can. Just kind of jump to show you where I am. Around here is the edge of it. You just need enough height to land on this essentially. It's quite large. This is the other end of it. So landing on here is very forgiving. You just need enough height. This around this line is where the bottom of the platform is. So if you've fallen too low because you took damage from the other spikes and dropped before your feather kicked in, then you won't be able to make it, and that's why you need to triple jump to get onto here. So once you're on here, you get a charge jump. A full charge jump will take you over the ground, but you need the height. So you do like a partial charge jump and skim below the surface using your triple jump, and then you'll land below this area, and then you want to charge jump into this slime. It has to be pretty precise. Now he's wandering, so it's kind of annoying. Or slime, I mean frog. You have to charge jump into him from below. You can kill him with stomps, but if you knock him away from this area, you're in trouble. Because what's tied to being able to save here is whether or not that slime is alive. So your best bet is to just come from below and charge jump into him. So let me just do that part again, more quickly. That one won't work. This'll work. Triple jump, get a charge jump going, touch down on the platform, get another charge jump going, charge jump into him, and then you can place the save in this corner. I guess one thing to note is when you're going to that first invisible ground to the right, if you hold feather all the way after triple jumping, you will overshoot it. But since it's quite large, you can just drop feather once you're in the approximate area so that you land on it and get the charge jump. So with that charge jump, you won't have enough height to make it over to this place. So you put the save in the very corner here, and then we just have to get back inbounds. So the way you do this, I guess I can talk about the efficient way to get out of here. Around this point is the edge of the platform you're placing the save on, and then there's a drop off, and the ground below looks kind of like what I'm tracing with my mouse. So you'll see if I move slowly, there I fell. So right there, You just want to move far enough right to fall, and then head to the left. The screen will not move for a while you're in here. Let me do the movement again. Screen's not moving, but I'm still moving. It's just something to do with, you know, being out of bounds. The screen doesn't track where you quite properly. So you just move a bit to the left so you fall off this top platform, or a bit to the right to fall off the top platform, and then you go to the left. I tried to get back on, but I fell off. So you do that, and then what you want to do is fall till about this black rectangle there, and then turn on the feather and use your jumps. Or turn on the feather once you get below the rectangle, so you don't fall too low. And then use your jumps once the screen turns blue. And if you do fall too low, you get stuck where I just did. So I'll just do that again. Feather at the rectangle, screen turns blue. And that was too high. That's a good example of what not to do. So let's be a bit lower. There we go. So, talking about what can go wrong, coming back in bounds here for a bit. One thing I just did, if you're too high, around here, there's a zone that just voids you out. I was too low for it that time because I spent time talking while I was falling. But you feather too early, you can jump into a zone, some plane that just voids you out. So if I feather before this rectangle, use my jumps, apparently I got in. Sometimes, you know, you don't find it, I suppose. I wanted it to go smoother for the demonstration, but, you know, what can you do? Okay, well this is just working really well then. So apparently it's pretty forgiving. Let me try to come in very high and see if I can hit the void out plane. Just holding feather the entire time. Okay, I still got in. Well, apparently I still have things to learn about this. So apparently you can come in quite high. There's a void out plane somewhere here. You gotta watch out for it, but... Anyways, so what you want to do is come in here, and then you can glide off of that guy, but isn't as bad as I am. You can glide to here, and then just head on along your way to climb. Another thing to note is if you come too low, it's possible to recover, as long as you don't get stuck in the log like I did that one time. So let's come very low in here. So I'm definitely below the room. Just keep heading to the left and you can get back in bounds like that. Pretty sure this is slower than using the bash glide, but you do skip going through the spike tunnel if you come that low. Although I think you run more risk of undershooting it and causing yourself some pain. So here we are after having finished Misty. We just killed the new boss and we're at the door. While I'm opening this door, I like to turn the UI on here because it makes a couple things easier. First off, there's no dialogue, so you're not losing any time by turning the UI on. Let's just open the door. One of the first things you're going to do in Forlorn is a save anywhere, so you need the UI on for that anyways. And the main reason is that it makes seeing the place that you can actually rekindle the save easier. And I'll show why that's actually important very soon. So we just go past this. Charge jump up top. This slime has to die. Oops. You can juggle him up and hit him, or you can just charge jump from the ground if you're good. So I'm above the save right now, but I actually can't rekindle here because I'm too far away vertically. You need to move to the left. And if you just hold E up here, like when you're up top here, then you'll save, and your entire out of bounds setup will be ruined. So make sure you actually rekindle and then exit the game and reload. So now we're ready for the out of bounds. A good setup that Kyo found is that you can run to the right here, and then you can save again after you fall off this lip and you're ready to just head left. And I'll save right before I do the out of bounds, because what you want to use is the timer on rekindle to time entering Misty. And if you miss it, you can just count 7 seconds going to the right, and that will work, but the timer is perhaps a bit more consistent. So, and the other benefit of saving here is if you took some damage during Misty, since you got healed at climb and then you were unable to save until this point, you will heal yourself so that spikes in Forlorn won't hit you, won't kill you if they hit you, and you do often get hit when you're entering Forlorn. So it's just safe to have more health here. So what we're going to do is save and then run off to the left holding feather, and as soon as you hear the feather come out, that indicates you're above open space, and then you let go of feather and start heading right. So let's do that. Save, left, hold feather, there it is, so I go to the right. I fall down to where the point where the screen turns gray before I start feathering again, because you don't want to be too high here, and then when the save is ready, you stomp. Or you can count 7 seconds and you get the same effect. Except apparently that one didn't work, so let's just go again. I must have been too far to the left. There's the feather going right. And save's ready, let's stomp. And we're in there. So you can be safe and just wait for the laser cycle there and make that one. And then head off this way. Now I will note, you could go a laser cycle faster, so I'll try to do it here, but this is super risky for reasons that I will go into soon. So if rather than waiting for the save to be fully ready, you go to about there, about 7/8, you can sometimes get this. That was amazing that I got it first try, where you go all the way down to the bottom there and skip a laser cycle. But okay, I'll try to get it again, and then we'll go over why it's a bad idea. I didn't even feather there, so my positioning might be off, but let's give this a go. Let's try there. Yeah, so that was too far left. I need the save timer to do this. Just feather. I didn't turn around very quickly. Let's try right here. Too far left. If you're too far left, you just void out like that. If you're too far right, you die to the death cube. So let's try a little bit later. This is probably too far to the right. Yeah, right into the death cube. So let me just get there normally. This would be a backup. Let's say you missed it once. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wasn't looking at a clock, so that counting was probably uneven, but this should work. I'll probably just be a bit too far right. Yeah. So if you're any further left than this wall coming down to Misty, you will void out on the way down and you won't even see this screen. And if you stomp into this, you die. You could also hit this gap, but you won't be able to make the vertical laser down here. So the only way you one cycle it is if you manage to hit this spot after going to the right for 7 seconds. So it's possible, but very difficult. So I'd recommend just going with the much safer. Wait till the soul link's ready, stomp, and you land up over there. So that's that. And then I like to bash off that slime. So let me just do it once more, for completeness' sake and my own sanity. So as the file opens, we hold left and feather. When the link is complete, I will stomp. When the link's ready again, I should say. And then you can wait up here if you want to be safe. You can get lower on this laser cycle, but you can still pass it in the same cycle. I forgot to bash off that slime. But yeah. So then you just head over here. You should have four keys at this point from the keys you picked up going out of Sorrow. And then you're just doing Forlorns. Once you've picked up the health cell on your way out of Forlorn, there's a couple small changes. Cycles are a bit different because you haven't come through here before, so chances are you can't bash off of this thing. I was waiting up top for a bit, so it's a bit different. At this point, you will walk into the cutscene box for the entering the door. You can skip it, but you shouldn't skip it, because if you do skip this, then you're actually unable to use the door. So unless there's some really fast way to get out of bounds, it's best to just watch that cutscene and then head on your way out. This cycle should be good, because it will start when you just get close there. This cutscene trigger is around this point. You just save at the end of this rock in the background or a bit earlier. Skip is much easier from this side than it is from the other side, which is nice. And then we head out of Forlorn. There's a couple things to leaving Forlorn that's a bit different, because there's still a bunch of stuff in our way. This first wall that's coming up, we can't stomp past it or use any ability to get past it, so we actually have to use this green dude to kill it. You can get it in one bash. That angle was bad. I'll just redo it from the save to show the one bash. If you miss it, if I miss it this time, I'll just do it, you know, a backup strat, because this guy spawns quite fast, so if you miss it, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna catch him. Alright, so I hit the spider again. So I caught him a bit too far to the left. So bait him out, just throw him at it, and then you can head over. Well, let me try to get the fast strat one time here. Okay, so you can bash him straight into that wall. One more try, and then we'll carry on. That looks good. Then you can glide straight out. And then the small difference is leaving this area. This wall is still in place. You have to use Stomp to get past it, about halfway part. Similar to stomping a charge flame wall. There's a roof here, so make sure your charge jump goes high enough to break it. And then you have to backtrack a tad, so you want to climb up there. I'm sure there's a way to get a bash glide off this bird heading this way. I haven't worked with it too much though. And then you just come back for this cell, and after that, we're back on the normal route.